Here we are with another banger video. Card of the day, Gyarados, signed by Midori Harada with a nice Magikarp sketch on there. Check out that little swirly swirl. And my light started flickering, so I had to make a cut. And yeah, I just turned my light off, but here we go. So I guess we're gonna do low light video today. See, there's a bunch of dust flying around my camera, but hey, whatever. So what's up, everybody? It's Elijah, your favorite cybernetic psychonaut, your favorite cybertronic superhero. Just kidding, I'm not a superhero. Anyways, coming on here, and I just wanted to talk about why I know that I will be successful, and how people measure success, and what I've been told the definition of success is in my life. I've been told the definition of success is you basically can do what you want to do with your life. Basically, you make enough money that you can just do what you want and you enjoy what you do. That makes you a successful person. Being 26 years old, I thought by the time I was 26, I'd have to have my career planned out. I would have to have a bunch of money in the bank. And if I didn't do that, then, I wouldn't be successful. And look at me. I'm a server and a bartender, and I do catering events. And I have a bunch of Pokemon cards, and I talk to a screen, and it gets like 10 views. Now, a younger me would say, maybe that's not successful, but maybe he would, because I have an apartment. I have a girlfriend that I love. We've been dating for over 3 years. I'm reading the Word of God. I'm getting closer to Jesus. And I'm a good friend to the people I care about. I have good relationships. I have some investments. I've built a little bit of a foundation. But life has not been perfect for me in the least sense. I have type 1 diabetes. I got that in high school. If I never got that, I probably would have went to college for wrestling, and I never did. I was very successful in the live sound industry, had a job at Clear Global, and COVID hit, and probably would have been successful doing that. I had, I don't know, I was 5 years ahead of this whole Pokemon craze. I could have just done that, but I lost my main source of income. I got laid off when I was 23 years old. And, it's just time and time again, what am I going to do now? I'm wearing my glasses today because I got shots 2 days ago because I have an eye disease that nobody else has to deal with. And every time something happened in my life that was unexpected, I could say, this is the reason why I'm not here, right? This is the reason why I'm not where I think I should be. And I think getting older is realizing this is exactly where I'm meant to be, This is exactly where I'm meant to be. Where else would I be? I could be a famous rapper. I could be a millionaire off of Pokemon. I could be a D1 wrestler and could have got a college education and been a professor or whatever. But why would I hold myself to those things if that's not the reality? What makes me successful? Is it having a car that's expensive and a bunch of money in the bank and a bunch of superficial relationships to brag about? That doesn't make me successful. And what is the measure of success that I'm using? Because if it's not just something basic, like if I'm happy, if I'm providing for my family and I'm a good friend to the people I love, then it's false. Recently I've been realizing that I want to be successful in serving God. I want to be successful in serving Jesus. And I want to be successful in doing God's will. And I don't know what God's will, I do know what God's will is, in the sense that Jesus put instructions in the Bible, love your neighbor, don't covet over your neighbor's wife, don't steal, don't murder, and spread the good news of the gospel. But God doesn't come down in my bedroom and say, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. He's letting me figure it out. And what I'm learning through faith is God is always here. He's here right now. He's listening to me now. He's been listening in the past, and he's listening in the future, because God's like omnipresent. Like, time does not bound God. God created time, you know? He is everywhere at once. And the magnificence of God, us as humans, we can't think of it always and realize how magnificent God is, because we'd all just be freaking out because of how crazy it is. And we have to have faith that God is here in our little day things that we need to do, our little jobs that we go to, you know, our little inconveniences. We need to realize that God is there with us. Like, through my diabetes, through my eye disease, you know, through me failing in business, or thinking I failed, but being ahead and not believing in myself enough, and all of this stuff, God is there with me. And this isn't the end all be all. I'm rambling on my phone now. I have 58 subscribers. I love you guys. Thank you so much. You know, a month ago I had 13 subscribers, and I had 58. Somebody might be looking at this and be like, 58, that's nothing. But no, like 58, think of a room full of 58 people. If I was talking to 58 people right now, I realized I'd probably be a little nervous. And everything that I've been through in my life, God is shaping me to be the person that can do his will the best. When I was 23 years old and I had that nice paying job and all those responsibilities, there was a reason why I got laid off. Maybe it was to teach me something, you know, to give me qualities that I have now, that I can take in my life. When I was 16 years old and I thought I knew everything, you know, I was like that conspiracy theorist that talked about like the Epstein files and the cabal and the New World Order and all these conspiracies that a lot of them ended up being true. Ended up being isn't the right term though. They were always true. I always knew they were true. Even when I had to sit back and think nobody is listening to me or I'm crazy and get a job and go into society, I always knew that what I believed was true. To some extent, not all of it, but for the most part. And when you actually realize that, I gotta think of that kid that I used to be way back when. You know, it's still me, but it's a younger version of me. And look at who I am now. Look at my mental fortitude now. Look at everything that I went through. That 16-year-old me could look at me today and has so many reasons to say, you're unsuccessful. But it's only because it's based off of the premonitions that I had as a 16-year-old. That if I wasn't a famous rapper by 21, the world was going to end. If I didn't save the world, then we were all going to explode and kill ourselves. But really, what do I actually have a responsibility to do? To be a good neighbor, to love my neighbor, to not steal, to not murder, to tell people of the good news. And if God is going to come down and give me a mission right to my face, he's not going to give it to be in subliminal messages and this and that. He is going to show me trials and tribulations and build me into the person I need to be to do his will, first off. And that's what he's done to me for the past 10 years. And I don't know if I'm ranting right now, but I just believe that I am going to be successful. And I'm successful now. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. I've went through a lot of doubt. I'm not perfect by any means. But I have faith that this is all just a show. This whole life, it's going to be here and then it's going to be gone. And there's a lot of mysteries that we don't understand about the unconscious mind, about quantum mechanics, anti-gravity, free energy. And the internet's only been around for how long? Computers have been around for how long? AI. And we're just growing at an exponential rate where, it's unnatural. Unnatural isn't even a good word for it. It's like absurd. It's so absurd that I can talk into a camera and post it online, and in 10 minutes, 10 seconds, it's uploaded and potential to reach millions of people. And God created everything. He knows this already. He's seen everything. He knows. He sees how it's going to work out. So you think God would let us create these tools to destroy ourselves? I think he wouldn't. But here's the thing that I don't understand. I don't have unlimited understanding like he does. Because there's a part of me that when I say that, I know that I can't think in the way that God thinks. And that's a real easy way for Satan to step in and start deceiving you and manipulating you. And now you're thinking about all sorts of things that you don't even need to think about. And that's how you get caught in this whole knowledge, feedback, thirsting for truth and being led on a trail of deception. And that's where Jesus comes in. That's where you need to be grounded into the Word, into the Holy Spirit, and just do good for others. Know that you're saved already, and know that you're not going to understand what God's whole intention is, and know that it's written in the book. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. It's going to get a lot worse. And that's why we need to pray. That's why we need to be ready. We need to keep our lamps full of oil, and we need to keep our wicks ready to go. Don't be like those 5 virgins who went out to buy more oil and they came back and the bridegroom was already gone with the other 5 virgins. Don't be like the guy who got invited to the wedding and got kicked out because he didn't wear the right clothing. I know I'm going to be successful. And I hope you know that too. So let's all walk in the Lord. Let's all take all of our trials, all of our tribulations that we've been through, and know that God has put us through them because we are his warriors. We are his soldiers. And we're in a battle every day. We're in a battle. Fighting our own self-doubt. Fighting the deception of the world. And remember that our reward is in heaven. Our reward is not here. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be stepping up my content. We're going to be writing a little bit more, maybe trying to do more scripted stuff. But thank you guys so much for listening. And until the next time, peace.